If you bought a recorder, then have no fear. Recorder Corner is here.
Hey, third grade, welcome back to another week of Recorder Corner. Hopefully you had a great first week with your recorder. I got some videos from you guys. Thanks for sending those in. Love to see them. Let's go over a couple things. Let's get started here. So your recorder, we got the different parts. We got the head joint, the foot joint. We got the body. Got the holes there. We got the little window right there. And your recorder is what you're playing on. So let's talk about how we're going to play it. Hold it, flat fingers like that. Thumb covering that back hole, really, really important. Nice flat fingers, just like that. You should be able to hold it with just those two fingers, just like that. Now, when you put it in your mouth, remember, it only touches your lips. It doesn't touch your teeth. It doesn't touch your tongue. It just sits there right on your lips. It doesn't go straight out, doesn't go straight down. Just a nice angle like that. You can put your other hand down here to give some extra support too. Don't cover any extra holes though, okay? Remember, what hand do you use? Your left hand, like that, okay? When you look at it, it should look like a letter L, okay? When you play this note, it sounds like this. What do you whisper into the recorder to make that sound? You whisper, just a whisper. You don't want to yell, you don't want to scream, you don't want to do anything more than just a whisper. Maybe you can try 3 of those in a row. Now, if your notes sound like this, that doesn't sound right. It sounds a little too squeaky, okay? If it sounds squeaky, it's because your fingers are not covering those holes. Don't forget, a good way to check is to see if you have those little dots right there on your fingers. If you have those dots, it means you're doing something right, okay? This note has a name. It is called B. Now, when I play A, notice, here's a little trick. You never lift this finger to play A. You just add a finger. Don't take one away, just add one. This is A. 2 fingers and your thumb, okay? This will make the note lower. Nice flat fingers, just a whisper. Okay? 2 fingers and your thumb. That is A. This is not A. This is not A. This is A. This is B. This is A. Okay? We're not taking fingers away. We're just adding fingers. So keep that in mind. Something that sometimes can trick you a little bit. So we got B, we got A, we got one more note as well, G. That's 3 fingers. Again, I'm not taking any fingers away. It's not like this. It's not like this. It's like this. 3 fingers and your thumb. Make sure your thumb's there too. B, A, and G. Those are our 3 notes that we've been learning. I've been practicing. Okay, so hope you've been practicing those. If you haven't sent me a video, it's not too late. I like to see those. I like to hear what it sounds like, okay? So we got our 3 notes, B, A, and G. Sounds pretty good. Now, on the Weebly site that I showed you, I put together a little Weebly site. I actually had some papers on there that showed you where these notes lived on our staff. Now, we've talked about a staff before. There's our staff. And I want to let you know that these letter names actually live on very specific spots on our staff. First of all, you may have noticed a little symbol that looks like this. Now, what is that? Is that a note? No, it's not a note. This is actually called a treble clef. A treble clef. It's also called a G clef. It's called a G clef for a very good reason. Because if you notice, this is kind of an interesting shape here, but there's almost like a circle down here. And it's almost like it's circling this line, the second line. Well, that's because the second line is the note G. And actually, there's a way that you can learn all the different letter names for all the different lines, all different spaces. I'm going to tell it to you right now. So something you can practice. Something that's really good to know when you're playing an instrument. It's less important when you're singing, but when you're playing an instrument, knowing the notes is really, really important, okay? So with our treble clef, we've got some notes. The first line is E. All different letters here, okay? The second line is G, like we just said, because the G clef circles that second line. Next one is B. Next one is D. And the top one is F. E, G, B, D, F. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now, how can you remember that? It's actually a very easy way to remember that. You can put a little sentence, a little mnemonic device. Here's a sentence that I think really, really works well. And if you join band, you might even learn this next year too. every good burger deserves fries. Now that's true not just in music, but also just in life. Every good burger, it does deserve fries. Every good burger deserves fries. All different note names, all different lines. Now those aren't the only spots because there's also spaces. And the spaces are different letters. The spaces are these letters. First space is the letter F. Second space is the letter A. Third space is the letter C. And the top space is the letter E. Now, if you're a good speller, you maybe have figured out this actually spells a word. F-A-C-E. F-A-C-E. What does that spell? It spells face. And here's an easy way to remember it. Space rhymes with face. First space F, second space A, third space C, top space E. These are all different notes that you can learn on a variety of instruments. We're going to learn them on the recorder here on Recorder Corner. So we've got every good burger deserves fries, F-A-C-E, face. Okay? Now, we know 3 of these notes. We know 3 of them. We know B, we know A, and we know G. We know B, A, and G. So let's figure out where these go on our staff. B, every good burger. Every good burger. Lines. What line is it? The third line. Now, something really interesting about the third line. When you have a note up that high, the stem is actually going to go down. That's the note B. Next one's A. Every good burger deserves fries. Well, there's no A. Every good E, G, B. No. So what about spaces? Space rhymes with face, F-A. A. Okay, A is the second space. 1, 2. Second space right there. Oh, it's like a step lower. That's kind of cool. And finally, we got G. Every good, G, good, second. Okay, G. Second line is G. These are the 3 notes that we have been playing since last week. B, A, and G. B on the third line, A in the second space, G on the second line. These 3 notes. Now, I had this for you last week of that Weebly. Look in the description below. The Weebly link is down there. Follow that. These 3 notes are so important because with these 3 notes, we can learn our very first song. And there's a link on that Weebly to a song I actually had it up last week. If you got a little bit adventurous and looked around, you maybe saw it. Let me play you the song. Tell me if you know what it is. It might sound familiar. Sound familiar? It should. The song is Hot Cross Buns, Hot Cross Buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, Hot Cross Buns. Now on that Weebly, you're going to see some music, some notes. And the notes are going to look very much like this. They're going to be either on the third line, B, second space, A, or second line, G. These notes, in a certain order, will make Hot Cross Buns. I want you to look at that music while you play it. But I'm going to show you what the notes are. First phrase, B, A, G, just like you've been practicing. Second phrase, guess what? Same as the first. B, A, G. Now the third phrase is the different one. If you look at the notes, you look at the music, it actually starts on the second line. There's 4 in a row. So they're all on the second line, every good, good G. 4 G's in a row. G, 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 G. G, 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 G. Then it goes up to the second space. Second space, 4 in a row. Space rhymes with face, F-A, second A. A, 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 A. 4 A's. So we have 4 G's, G, 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 and then 4 A's. A, 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 A. That's the different phrase in this song. The last line is just like the first 2. B, A, G. Here are a couple things you can do to practice this song and get it really good. Number 1, you can play along with me in this video, okay? Once you have it really good, you can actually play along with me. You can move your fingers along with me. You can sing the notes along with me. Getting those fingers in the right order is the key to getting this song to sound just right. Listen again. Here's something else you can do. On that paper, if you can write on it, if you can maybe print it out, or if you can't print it out, you can actually write it like if you can save it as a PDF or some high-tech gizmo type thing. I don't know what you can do and what you can't do with technology. All I know is music. But if you can write in the note names underneath the notes, that's very helpful to get started with this, okay? It's important to know the notes. So if you want to even take a piece of paper and write down the notes, that's really, really good. But try to look at the music while you do it. It's really good to associate those notes on the staff with how you're playing it, okay? So here it is one more time, hot cross buns. You can go as fast or slow as you want. I'd recommend going nice and slow. Make sure it's nice and steady. Don't forget those rests on there too. Make sure you have a couple beats in there with no sound, okay? So practice hot cross buns. It's on the Weebly site. It's down there. Practice it, and once you get it, send a video to that Flipgrid link in there. I'd love to hear you playing hot cross buns. Give you some feedback, okay? If it sounds great, I'll let you know. If you need a little bit of help, I'll help you with that, okay? No need to worry. But have some fun with your recorder. Don't forget you can clean these too if you want to take them apart and put them in the sink. Warm water, soap, make sure they stay nice and clean. It's always good to keep your recorder clean, so get all those germs and gross things out of there, okay? So have fun with your recorder, playing hot cross buns, and we will see you next week for a brand new song.
Recorder Corner is here.